Squad Pod. Squad Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. We are straight into the NBA Finals now. I mean, it's the Suns versus the Bucks, Game 1, as we speak, literally as we speak.
Who knew?
Who knew? So, of course, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals a little bit. Of course, some other NBA news, because there's definitely some more news to talk about. Of course, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, they're coming to an end here within the next game or so. We'll just touch on that. And then, of course, some NFL news, the bias bubbles, and the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. But yeah, let's get right into it. The NBA Finals is underway. Game 1 is at halftime as of right now. The Suns are up on the Bucks. But since we talked last, I mean, the Clippers were still in it.
Yeah.
At the point last time we talked.
Last time we talked, we literally were focused the whole time on if the Clippers can force a Game 7 and didn't talk anything about the Suns, where we really should have, because they ended it right there at Game 6 and didn't even allow that Game 7, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we both thought that the Clippers were going to win that next game. Like, it looked like they were just going to win that next game. But, man.
Even though we both thought the Suns would win the series, we really thought the Clippers would win Game 6 there.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Suns, man, I've been saying it since, like, the middle of the season, so around the All-Star break. Them Suns, I think they can win it. I think they're going to win it all.
I think they will too, man. If we're going to go ahead and just throw our picks out there right now, I think both of us are on the same train with that. And sorry, Ryan, like, no disrespect to the Bucks.
No disrespect.
I really think the Suns are the team to beat right now. And they did just have an injury here tonight. One of their big men, I forget his name, he kind of limped off there. But
I did see he went to the locker room.
Devin Booker and Chris Paul are so good together right now. And you got some good other role players. Ayton's playing great. So it's going to be hard, especially with Brook Lopez kind of like just looks like he's on ice skates down there sometimes. You know,
but Brook and Giannis coming off that injury, like nobody thought he was going to play tonight.
True, but he's looking great off that injury. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I do really think the Suns will win this series here.
Same, man. Same. And what just like what you were saying, it seems like the Bucks, like, I mean, it's only Game 1, but as I was watching, it just seems like they're just making bad decisions, just turnovers. Like they're going for alley-oops that they shouldn't even be going for. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but so is the Suns. So the Suns are doing it too. So
I saw Jay Crowder just walk up and shoot a deep three, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You had a whole shot clock. You had no reason to shoot that ball.
Hey, he's the only one on either team with any finals experience, okay?
That's true. I've been here before.
I've been here before. I know what I'm doing. Watch this. Airballs and shit. So, I don't care. Y'all ain't been here before. It's just some shit. You know?
I was going to say that like Jay Crowder, he was there last year with the Heat.
Yep. So, he's the player. Speaking of that, though, you just reminded me of that 37-year streak. The Shaq streak.
It's over.
It's over. It's crazy. 37 straight years of a player being on a team with Shaq is finally over. And that's wild to me, man. But, hey, all things good come to an end, you know? So it is what it is.
I mean, they could always start again. Who knows?
But speaking of Shaq, I did have one interesting little tidbit here of the greatest Game 1s of all time in the finals here. Just like a short list of them. I wrote down a couple here. But Shaq was one of them in 2000 versus the Pacers. He dropped 43 points, 19 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks in Game 1. Just came out the gate firing, you know. I did have Tim Duncan here as well, 2003 versus the Nets. Game 1 came out 32 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 blocks. Man, that stat line's better.
Wow, 7 blocks.
Right, and 20 rebounds there. I had LBJ, LeBron, 2018 versus Golden State, and this is the infamous J.R. Smith game. This is the infamous where he's like flipping out on J.R. Smith. 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in a Game 1 here against the greatest team of all time, plus Kevin Durant. you know. So that's
Kevin
what
Durant.
that's what that game was done again, and he lost the game. So just to let y'all, he lost that game. And then I had also Kobe 2009 versus the Magic, dropped 40 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Now this is the crazy thing about that 40-point performance. He made 0 3-pointers the entire game. That was just all straight Kobe just working, you know, and I loved it. But that was just a couple of the greatest Game 1 performances ever.
That's awesome.
See what happens tonight.
You did mention here, this is the first finals to feature no players with a ring. It's the finals to feature no players with a ring since 1977. It was the Blazers versus the Sixers.
Damn.
Yeah,
so it's just
that's crazy to
new.
think about. It's always somebody on a team that has a ring, you know, that's going to the finals
experience, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, things changed, and especially with all the injuries we had this year, but that's no excuse, you know. But yeah, it's cool to see these fresh faces in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, this finals, now 3 Antetokounmpo children have made it to the finals.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them have been to the finals now. Because two were on the Bucks, and then one was on the Lakers last year.
LeVar Ball ain't have no kids get to the NBA finals yet. What's up, the Ball children?
Not as of yet.
Not as of yet. But LaMelo, man, we both talked about that.
Who knows?
He's good as shit. I don't know about Charlotte, but like LaMelo has got a bright future in the league here. He's one that's even younger than like Donovan Mitchell and Jamal and Devin Booker. So like he's like next. Like
it helps that he was like kind of like Luka, where he was balling in these other leagues before coming to the NBA, getting experience.
Right. But give him a little bit of time. He'll be a nice all-star in the league here. But we'll get inside that.
Yeah. But I don't know if you saw this, but Torrey Craig, my bad. He's gonna win a ring regardless.
Yeah.
Of no matter.
He started the season with the Bucks, right?
Yep, and now he's on the Suns. Yep. So he's like, hey, it don't matter to me. I'm gonna try my best. Don't get me wrong. I'll try my best. Don't get me wrong. But hey, I'm gonna get a ring.
That's pretty cool to know you secured a ring regardless of the outcome.
I always feel like the other team's just like, here you go, I guess.
Fine.
Yes, fine.
That's
why
they
we'll mail it to you.
They don't even give them to him at the ceremony. They give them to him the next year when they play him for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, they always have those ring ceremonies, whatever. Like they go and
it's like,
play.
I gotta wait like a year and a half to get my first ring or whatever.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I'm happy you got it.
Pat Bev is officially suspended for one game next season.
That ridiculous shit.
I don't know if you saw that. Pretty crazy stuff. Nate McMillan is officially gonna be the head coach of the Hawks, and he signed a 4-year deal. He was I think he was the assistant coach before they fired the head coach, and then he kind of stepped into the head coach role, and they made this run in the playoffs. So they're like, "Yep, you're officially the head coach now. 4-year deal."
Give him the job.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty good. Congrats to him.
Let's see what they could do, especially if Trae Young likes him and can play for him well, you know. So
exactly, they must have saw something that were like, all right, we don't need to interview anybody else. You got this.
Yeah, right.
Raptors guard Jalen Harris has been dismissed and disqualified from the NBA, violating an NBA anti-drug policy, and he can apply for reinstatement in 1 year.
Damn, I wonder what happened. Like, what's the extent of it?
I don't know. That's all the description that they had. That is that he violated the NBA's anti-drug policy, and they're like, nope, you out, you gone. After a year,
like, you're not playing for anybody.
Maybe you could get back in, but
damn, what did they catch him doing?
I don't know. It must have been something crazy.
Bud or something. They would have just been like, all right, you know, like even Caruso got caught with a little bit of bud, and they didn't say nothing about that. Like,
yeah.
So what did this dude get caught doing?
Out here like doping. He's like, I don't know what's he doing. Steroids.
I don't know, man. That's crazy though. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, that's some crazy news. Some other crazy news. 76ers declined a trade apparently that would send Malcolm Brogdon and a first-round pick to the Sixers for Ben Simmons. Straight up.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that either. I feel like they got some good value with Ben Simmons there. Even though everybody knows they want to move on from him, he's still got good value.
Yeah, he's got good value.
They can get
Malcolm Brogdon's a good piece to have too.
He is, and a first rounder.
And a first rounder.
But I
can't
just
accept the first trade.
Yeah, exactly. No matter how good it is, you're gonna be like, oh, sorry, man. Gotta see what else is out there. Gotta see what other options.
Now,
even if
like
they don't get
Malcolm
another trade,
Brogdon, a first and like a third, now we might be talking or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. First and a second, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I would like to see Ben Simmons on a different team, regardless.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know where he's gonna end up, but I think he needs to get out of Philly. It's too much bad like juju, bad memories and shit. Get out of there. Start fresh, man.
Like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, man. Start fresh.
He's gonna end up going to Indianapolis, like Carson, go to Indy or something.
Man. I can see Ben Simmons playing for the fucking Pacers, man. See what happens.
One of the last things I have here is Luka. Old boy Luka, we talked about him. He helped Slovenia qualify for the Olympics for the first time in the nation's history.
Hey, there you go. Luka put the team on his back.
Luka on his back.
He don't just put the team on his back. Luka put the country on his back.
Yeah, straight up.
To the Olympics. He might end up beating the fucking Team USA if you know what I mean? Like, this dude is the real deal, man. I know you believe it. Like, we'll see what Luka could do.
I thought that was crazy though. Like,
watch him still get like silver or some
first
shit.
in history. And the last bit of news I have here, it doesn't kind of merges our NFL news with the NBA news for the first time here. As minority stake owners, both teams in the finals, Aaron Rodgers, he's a part owner of the Bucks, and Larry Fitzgerald, who's a part owner of the Suns, could get a ring this year.
Interesting. That's very interesting. I did not know Aaron Rodgers owned any of the Bucks there or Larry Fitzgerald as far as the Suns, and that makes sense with Aaron Rodgers, and it makes sense with both of them. Actually, Phoenix, I didn't really think about that either, but that's crazy. So they could end up getting a ring because of their stake in the
Aaron
team.
Rodgers would have, like, that'd be crazy. He'd be, I got an NBA championship ring, and I got a Super Bowl. You know what it is?
That's some shit, man. That's like
I got something you don't, Tom.
The old owner, Jimmy Johnson, not the race car driver, Jimmy Johnson, the owner, who was like the coach of the Cowboys and shit like that. And then he went on and like owned a racing team, like had something motorsports. So like he's got multiple NASCAR championships and multiple Super Bowls. Like, so
I
like
just want to win.
I just want to win. Like, so, it's just
that's why Michael
great,
Jordan bought like a NASCAR team. He's like, I just want to keep winning.
Man. Like, let's see what happens. I would love to see that. That's that Bubba Wallace car, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think Bubba Wallace on his team.
The 23, but I like seeing shit like that whenever they do like cross sports, you know, like you said there. That's cool.
But that's the last bit of like NBA news I have. I don't know if you have anything else you really want to touch on, Vern.
No, not like the general NBA. This game here is about third quarter, so we don't really have a result for it. By the time this comes out, you guys already know the result. But we don't really have a result on game one of the NBA Finals yet. It's still in contest. So
yeah. I mean, so moving on, NHL Stanley Cup Finals are underway. Man, Tampa Bay could have locked it up last night. They could have ended it, but it went to overtime, and Montreal ended up squeaking out a win. So now it is at 3-1, and I think they are heading to Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay could possibly win the Stanley Cup at home. It would all work out, you know, in this next game.
Most likely what's going to end up happening here, especially with like the performance that you just saw out of this game 3, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's probably going to be time to wrap it up. Like maybe they gave everything they had.
They were ready for it this past game. Now they're like, they want it now. Like, come on, give it to me. You know it's hard. Come on. Man. They could be back-to-back champs. That's crazy, man.
Back-to-back, and then that just goes along with that thing, man. Like, whatever city Tom Brady resides in, championships are won. Like, it doesn't matter if it's even the football team. It's whatever city he lives in, there are championships won. So,
yeah,
trend continues, man. It's some weird shit.
And I wish I could put a bet on it on FanDuel. But they don't have a bet where I know Tom Brady's going to end up showing up to like the next game next season or something on like one of these playoff games.
When he retires, he's gonna move back to Santa Barbara, like San Fran, that area, and then the 49ers are going to start. The Giants will win the World Series again. Like, that's the shit's going to happen, man. So just keep an eye on where Tom Brady lives. That's the team you want to
Let's just move straight into the NFL because I do want to ask you a question. What do you think Tom Brady would consider being like a coach at some point? I feel like I can't see him as like a coach or a personality on TV either. Like, I just feel like Tom Brady isn't like that, but I could be wrong. But do you think he would ever be like a coach?
Yeah, I feel like he's the type of dude like Michael Jordan. Like, he could have any job he wants when he gets out of the league. Like, he could have been on TV. Michael Jordan could have fucking been a coach. Michael Jordan could have went and played another sport.
I could see him doing exactly what Jordan does though too, and just chills and does his own like entrepreneurial things.
He builds his wealth. He has his own companies, like builds his brand. I don't know if he'll take a day job being on TV next to Jalen Rose and shit like that.
I don't think so. He barely does interviews now. I
right.
I don't think so.
But that depends. Maybe he does because you see Shaq. Shaq's got plenty of dough, but Shaq enjoys doing it. So Shaq does it.
Shaq's on everything. Yeah, like
exactly.
He'd be on 6. You turn on TV, 6 commercials with Shaq on it.
Exactly.
And then he's on TNT.
It really depends on what they want to do, but I would think I could see more than anything. Like, as far as being a coach, probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. Probably more of a owner situation, like than a coach. Maybe like football operations.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Shit.
I would feel like. I mean, I have no idea what it would feel like, but I would imagine that after like 20-something years of playing football and winning all these Super Bowls, you would be like, all right, I need to step away from the game for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want really anything to do with football for a little bit.
But he is
your brand.
Competitive.
Yeah.
But like Michael Jordan did, he stepped away from basketball for a while. Then he ended up coming back as an owner, doing his thing. So we'll see.
That's true. But yeah, we'll hop right into the NFL news, I guess. Here we did talk about this over a couple weeks ago, whenever it was happened after the draft. But Cameron Kinley has been granted the opportunity to play football by the Secretary of Defense, retired General Lloyd Austin. Kinley initially was denied his request to delay commission, but now be able to go to training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Speaking of the Buccaneers and Tom Brady.
I had this written down because I wanted to cover it for sure. I am so glad that shit was overturned. The Pentagon stepped in and did something great. They're like, hey, you know what?
Let this kid play. He earned it.
Go play football, man. Like, I just think that shit is great, man. That's a great outcome to the story. I'm just happy for it. Even though, like, it's like the Buccaneers, fuck the Buccaneers. But, like, hey, I'm happy for the young man that gets his opportunity to, if he's that talented, at least let him go and try out. Like, he might not even make the team, but maybe he does, so we'll see what happens, man. That's just an awesome story.
It is a really good story, man. I'm glad they stepped in there. Jacksonville Jaguars now have officially signed their future quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, to a 4-year, $36.79 million fully guaranteed deal with a 5th-year option that includes a $24 million signing bonus. Damn.
$24 million signing bonus. Ridiculous.
Here you go. Instantly. 24 mil. Here you go.
Here you go.
Here you go. This kid's like 21 years old, 20 years old. Here's $24 million. Thanks.
Oh God. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Like, go get a haircut.
Get ready for training camp.
Get ready for training camp. I want to see that blocks coming out the helmet. Like, Urban Meyer's just like, oh man, that's going to be an exciting,
real hits.
That's going to be an exciting team to pay attention to throughout the season and throughout the mini camps and training camps and stuff like that. Here is the Jaguars. Be
weird, just like it was weird last year with Joe Burrow on the Bengals, where you're seeing just like Bengals news pretty consistently, and you're like, why the fuck are they talking about the Bengals? It's going to be like that with the Jaguars and the Bengals this year.
God, they're talking about the Bengals and the Jaguars. And now, for some reason, they're talking about
teams you normally would not be talking about at all. Just like, oh, they lost again this week.
Speaking of that, though, did you see what team was announced for Hard Knocks this year?
I did.
What do
the
you
old
think?
Dallas Cowboys.
I know you don't typically watch Hard Knocks anyway,
I don't much, no.
I do. So like I'm interested because I really like to see what happens with Dak Prescott throughout the year here.
Yeah. That's a good story to have.
Right.
Like,
I made him my bold MVP pick was Dak. I think I would have to look back on my records here, but I want to see his progress.
I'm pretty sure. Or Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the one you.
Tom Brady was one more realistic one. This ancient old 44-year-old man go win MVP. That's my realistic. We'll see, man. I don't know. I mean, I am wearing the Brady today, but this is only because of the match. I was wearing this because of the match.
Wearing goats.
Well, what you got on? You got the Michael
Jordan.
Of course, we got the goats of
goats.
Each respective sport, so it is what it is. I did have something that I was going to save for this crazy sports stat fact of the podcast, but I also wanted to ask you if we've ever covered this before, because I don't remember. But it involves Terry Bradshaw and his terrible passer rating. Did you already go over this?
I don't think so, but we might have just like made a joke about it in passing at some point.
Okay, because I have something to tell you, my man, okay? And I hope Alex is listening. I know he wasn't alive during this time, so this means nothing, but it's the Steelers thing. So Terry Bradshaw in 1970 completed just 83 passes, okay? For a completion percentage of just 38.1%. In addition, he only threw for 1,410 yards, okay? So yards per attempt was 2.1. And then on top of all this, he threw just 6 touchdowns and 24 interceptions, okay? So all of this ended up equaling out to a passer rating of 30.4, okay?
Oh, my God.
Now, for perspective, Sam Darnold had the lowest passer rating of the year last year, of the season, at 72.7, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
The worst passer rating of Ben Roethlisberger's career was 75. Okay. Tom Brady has never had a season under 85 as far as his passer rating. Okay.
Wow.
Terry Bradshaw's pass rating was
30.
And to put that even into greater perspective here, okay, if he would have just spiked the ball into the dirt for all 2018 of his passes, he would have earned a 39.6 passer rating, 9 points higher than the one he earned as a rookie.
Because he's just been throwing interceptions and stuff.
No, I just thought that was some of the wildest shit I've ever read.
He didn't give a shit, dude. Chris Long, I think it was on his podcast, told a story about Terry Bradshaw that was funny. I don't know when it was, but it was during this cold-ass game, and it was snowy. And he said it was the second quarter or third quarter, and Terry Bradshaw took himself out of the game. And they were and the media and everybody were like, oh, Terry Bradshaw's hurt. There's an injury that's ailing him. They asked him in the press conference after the game, and he's like, I was cold. I didn't want to play.
I was cold, man.
And they still didn't believe him. They were like, he's making a story up. They're like, they're nagging injury. He's not going to play next week, such and such. And he's like, I just didn't want to play. I was cold. It was too damn cold.
It's cold out here. I said, rookie, get in there, play for me. I ain't doing it today.
It's
Give me that turbo
heater. Ridiculous. Starting QBs just imagine Tom Brady just nah, man, it's fucking cold. I am not playing the rest of this game. Give me that big jacket. I'm just gonna sit here on this
chilling,
with a beanie on. And just nope.
I'm load managing this game. That's what they should say. I'm gonna load manage this game. Let me take a rest.
Oh my gosh, I was like, no way.
Oh my god.
Terry Bradshaw.
Speaking of players taking a rest, apparently 0 players opted out for the deadline. You know what I mean? As far as the COVID, opted out for COVID. Really? Zero players opted out this year, so everybody should go. Nice. The deadline passed.
Sweet. I kind of adding on to a bit of news last week where I talked about how there was Eagles players recruiting Richard Sherman. Apparently, Richard Sherman and the Saints have been talking the past couple days.
Linked back to Seattle as well, so his name's been all over
to Seattle, huh? Try to build that secondary up.
Hey, we'll see what happens, but
I'd rather see him go to Seattle than go to the Saints.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Richard Sherman in that black and gold, man. That'd be pretty tight. That'd be fucking tight, man. Them jerseys are awesome. Jerseys are nice, you know. I'm just saying, like,
they are nice. I do love the Saints colors and shit. I love their uniform.
There's some nice ass jerseys, man. Maybe like sometime 10 years down the road, I'll get like a Drew Brees jersey. Sometime when he's long retired, it don't matter. Just to get like a black Saints jersey, just for the fuck of it. Like if I ever have a big room with a bunch of jerseys or something,
have that shit
I would love to have that black
would be
jersey.
Cool. Have like a Tom Brady jersey hung up.
Mm-hmm. Kobe
Bryant,
new
Jordan,
Kobe, Michael Jordan. Oh man,
that would be cool.
Oh, that's like the goal. Cave. One day I'm gonna have something a lot bigger than this. It's gonna have a ton of sports stuff in it. The whole room will be sports stuff.
Memorabilia.
Doing the whole podcast out of that room.
That would be sweet. I would love to do that.
Right. What else you got here?
Josh Gordon officially has submitted to his reinstatement letter to the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Hopes to be on a team before training camp, per league source. NFL apparently has been randomly drug testing Gordon for the past 3 months and is said to have passed all tests.
Hey, I mean, shit. We've seen this story before. Okay?
Yes,
that's all I'm going to say about
more than once, more than twice,
more than
3 times. I think.
I don't know what else to say about this other than that.
This
like
he's been trying to play forever.
I just feel like he wasted his entire career, but the NFL also is just now implementing the kind of the leniency that they're having as far as marijuana use. So like I saw a report about what's his name, the running back from Miami, Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams was talking about if the NFL had a more lax policy on weed back when I was playing, that I would have had a Hall of Fame career. Like, and because he got suspended all the time for it, he ended up leaving the league for it, going and playing. Like, so it's interesting when you think about it like that. But Josh Gordon, if they do go super lax on it, they should let Josh Gordon at least back it.
Come back to the Patriots.
No.
Go back to Seattle.
Go back to Seattle, man.
No Patriots.
I don't want to deal with that.
I don't know. You might need a receiver. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. We'll talk about that about Bubble.
In other news, the Heisman Trophy Trust says that if the NCAA reinstates Reggie Bush's 2005 status, that it looks forward to welcoming him back into the Heisman family.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's up to the NCAA as of right now.
Time heals everything. Let's see what happens.
And speaking of that, now the NCAA has approved for like student athletes to get paid off their image and likeness now.
Yep. So like I saw at like 12:02 after that was announced, after it was like legal and all set in stone and everything, there was players announcing endorsements right after it, like on Instagram and stuff. Like I just was like, man, that's crazy. Especially like fucking try to get as much money as you can, especially if your family needs it. Like why not? It's kind of ridiculous that they haven't been able to up until this point.
Yeah, and that's crazy because they've been in contact with them the whole time. So like as soon as it happened, they're like, "Oh, here's the deals."
Here, sign it. Announce it.
Apparently 3 teams, 49ers, Jaguars, and Cowboys, were all fined over this past couple weeks. The NFL fined so 49ers were fined $100,000 and Kyle Shanahan was fined $50,000. Jaguars were fined $200,000 and Urban Meyer was fined $100,000. Cowboys were fined $100,000 and Mike McCarthy was fined $50,000, all for violating OTAs. Like there's all part of OTA violations that all these fines stacked up. So all like these 3 teams must have did something. It didn't specify what they did, but apparently it just said NFL was fining San Fran, Jacksonville, and Dallas for OTA violations.
Interesting. I wonder if they like had stuff too close together or something, or
I don't know. They find the team and then the head coaches of the team. So
right.
Yeah. So I mean, it was either like maybe they were having workouts when they shouldn't have been. Maybe they weren't doing like proper protocols. I don't know, man. It was weird. But I was like, damn, they were like not like a little amount of money either. Getting $100,000 fine to the coach.
Hefty.
Hefty. Speaking of fines, The NFL is fining the Washington football team $10 million as a result of the league's investigation into the team's culture.
Million.
And the money's going to be donated straight to charity.
Right. But that's the thing. I thought all of the money was donated to charity.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. The money's going to be donated to charity.
But I mean, like, I thought all of the fines were donated to charity. That's what the NFL. So, like, why do they have to come out and say it specifically about this one?
This
like,
money is going to be donated. Holy shit, why did we word it like that?
But that's great that they're going to be donating it, especially if they come out and said that, like, but that's a crazy-ass fine, too, as far as the culture that they were dealing with there with all the allegations and everything that was going on. So
yeah,
if it rights the ship, good. But I hope it doesn't continue the way it was there.
Yeah. Well, I think they brought in I think it was Snyder's wife is now a president of operations, and she's some higher up now. They brought her in on something, and she was came out on a statement saying that we're here to right the wrongs. He's this is vile and discussing what's been going on in this organization. So, she made a statement and everything right after this too.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe Washington will be able to write it. And I guess she's in part of the running to get the new name and everything for the team. Pretty much a whole redesign of the organization she's a part of.
They should just stick with Washington Football Club or football team or something. I really like that.
Yeah. They definitely stick out more than everybody else. We talked about the Saints a little bit earlier. Here's another bit of news. Ryan Ramczyk is signing a 5-year, $90 million extension with the Saints to make him the highest paid right tackle in the league.
Damn.
Getting the bag.
They got some soul searching to do down there anyway, so they might as well protect the quarterback, whoever it's going to be.
I do have other news here, but it's pretty much only bias bubble stuff. The last thing I have here is Joey Chestnut done it again, folks. On July 4th, Joey Chestnut with a new world record of 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And he's won 14 titles.
14 titles. That's more than Phil Jackson. Okay, that's more than Bill Russell. That shit is crazy. That's more than Tom Brady and Michael Jordan combined. Okay? This dude is an all-time legend. I hope he goes down as the greatest of all time. Okay?
Greatest of all time. Every time they hold that Nathan's hot dog eating contest, they need to have it should be Joey Chestnut's Nathan's hot dog eating. They need to name that shit after him. After he's gone. Or name the trophy after him.
You win the Joey Chestnut Award.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. I completely agree with that, and I hope they do something Award. Like that. Right.
He deserves it, man. He's been at it. He won 14 titles, and he broke a world record this deep into his career. He's I'm just going harder than I have before.
I feel great. I can do this for another 14. And imagine if this man ends up with 28 championships. That shit, he's got more championships than the Yankees. Oh my god, bro, that shit would be
Joey
ridiculous.
Chestnut is the greatest athlete of our generation.
That's some wild ass shit.
Annals of history.
I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't end up dying at a young age for eating all these hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Shit's crazy. Get his stomach pumped afterwards.
I bet he does after every year. And then he's all right, I gotta get back to training. I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna eat 74 next year or 78 next year.
That's so I can't even think about that shit.
This dude spends a year just training, eating hot dogs just to eat a ton of hot dogs. I hate eating the same thing each week, let alone eating that many of one food. Oh my god, dude, couldn't do it,
bro. I'm getting sick thinking about that shit, bro. Oh my god, we got to move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's the last bit of news that I have this week, so we could go into the bias bubble. I feel like I have more bias news for your teams than my teams this week.
Oh man, I have very little for my teams this week. I didn't find that much for. I have a good amount for my Patriots here, but I didn't have much for the Lakers.
Okay.
What do you got here?
As far as my team or your team that you had, I was gonna wait for you to give your news before I see if you missed anything.
Gotcha. So for my Lakers, the only thing I really had right now here was all the DeMar DeRozan rumors that are swirling.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker is straight up linked to the Lakers, and it's been not any other teams that I'm hearing.
Right? He grew up in LA.
Cali native, man, likes to talk, and is most likely to have to be like a sign and trade. But that would be great. Have him over here as like a number 3 option, man, behind AD and LeBron. Oh, I would love that shit, and then just fill out with players there. That's way more realistic than Dame coming to the Lakers or Kyrie or anything like that. Or so.
And I feel like DeMar, he's at a point in his career where it's not going to cost you. You're not going to have to throw the bag at him. You're not going to be paying big bucks for him.
I mean, he's still averaging 21, 6.9, and 4. So, that's what he was averaging last year. It's still solid.
He just hasn't been that. He hasn't been an all-star recently. He hasn't been in the spotlight or anything.
He hasn't been a number 1.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I really had for my Lakers. It was kind of quiet. Okay.
I did have you boys hired David Fizdale as the assistant.
Oh yeah, right.
Coach. As the
assistant coach. Right after we did the episode last week. I forgot about that.
Yep.
But
that's a good hire, man. You lost Jason Kidd, brought in David Fizdale.
Yep. Get out of here, Jason Kidd. Thank you very much. See ya. Welcome, David Fizdale. This the dude that was
got experience.
He's the dude that was take that for data, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. Sure. That's what I'm saying.
How's that for data?
How's that for data? Take that for data. That shit, man. I like that energy. You bring that energy to the Lakers. Let's go. Let's get a championship next year. Let's go.
That's a good signing, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the only thing I missed from the Lakers. But yeah, you can go ahead, man. I know you got some Patriots stuff.
As far as the Patriots goes, it's going to be a full odd QB competition once training camp starts, and I am all for this shit, bro. All for it. And they're talking about probably 2 weeks in, it's going to become more clear. But as of everything over the spring here, heading into the summer, it's been everybody splitting reps. Cam splitting them, Stidham splitting them, Mac Jones splitting them. Everybody splitting reps.
Then it's just going to be Cam and Mac Jones splitting them, and then it's just
them.
What?
Good trade Stidham.
Yeah.
And because we don't fucking need him. Get the fuck out of here. God damn it. Anyway, speaking of get out of here, N'Keal Harry out of nowhere, just I'm a former first rounder. I'm not getting the targets that I should be getting. I'm just gonna have to, decided to formally request the trade. Fuck you, man.
Y'all haven't been used. I only had 86 targets in 2 years. Y'all ain't using me correctly. I want out.
Catching the ball.
And you know what Bill Belichick says about stuff like that. You go into the Texans, Cleveland. Or you go. No, Cleveland's too good right now. You go into the Texans. You go into I don't know. Detroit.
Send his ass to Detroit for a bag of potato chips. We don't even care. Don't even care what we get back. Maybe Belichick might cut him and hope that somebody scoops him up so they can get a compensatory pick or something. You know what I mean? It don't even matter. Whatever, N'Keal Harry. We got some people. We're gonna obviously need more depth now.
You really wanted him to succeed, though. That's a dude you've been talking about over the past couple years. You're N'Keal Harry, man. He's gonna explode this year.
Consistently disappointing me. And dropping big plays, man, dropping the ball, and just yo, all right, enough's enough. It's business. Get out of here. You're not good at your job. Get out of here. I'm sorry to kill. I'm glad I never get your jersey. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I saw that teams that are actually interested in N'Keal Harry, the Texans, the Saints, and the Lions. So there are 3 teams that are already showing interest.
Go to the Texans? Okay. They don't even know who their quarterback. They have 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll see what happens there. But the last thing I had here for my Patriots was our boy, Mac Miller, Mac Jones. Okay, I'm trying to think of more nicknames for it. Mac and Cheese. Okay.
Mac McCorkle.
Mac McCorkle signed a 15.6 fully guaranteed deal with a 8.7 million signing bonus. Now I know that ain't no Trevor Lawrence money.
5th-year option too on there.
4 years with a 5th-year option. But I was just like, nice, it's official. Mac Jones, part of the Patriots, So see what happens, man. I'm very excited for training camp here. That's all I really had on my Patriots.
That's dope, though. I did see that he signed his deal today. It seems like most of these teams are signing their big name rookies now. They're moving the money around.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to sign them term.
I did have one thing. I figure you probably wouldn't have saw this. But apparently Stephon Gilmore doesn't expect to be traded.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently it says Patriots Gilmore know they can intensify contract talks sometime in the next few weeks, and I'm told that Gilmore has largely not expected to be traded throughout the process because he knows the Patriots have made moves with Gilmore in mind. They haven't gotten a cornerback to replace him, and as one source told me, do the Patriots really want to go into week 4 against Tom Brady without their top cornerback?
Yeah.
And so things are slow right now, but I expect those sides to ramp up negotiations sometime before training camp.
I wonder if teams have the option to waive the fines for them holding out. If they end up coming to a deal, all right,
yeah,
we'll waive the fines and you sign.
They do because I remember seeing that the I think it was 94,000 or 94 or whatever for Aaron Rodgers that the Packers waived it for missing OTAs and missing that first part of training camp. They waived it, so I'm guessing that teams, if they really want to, they're like, nah, you good. That's that's my guess.
You could. We need you. You could. Come back when you want to, please.
The only 2 bit of Bulls news I have here, 3, I guess. Zach LaVine reported for Olympic training camp.
Hey.
And he's out there balling. There's pictures of him working with Steve Kerr. It was really cool to see.
Nice.
Getting
that knowledge.
Bulls. Now, the next 2 bit of news are just rumors within the organization. The Bulls are reportedly prepared to trade up into the first round on draft night.
Okay.
So who knows what he's plotting. It doesn't say. It just says that they're looking to trade up. So they must have their eye on somebody.
Okay.
And the other bit of news is saying that the Bulls are going to be all in if Damian Lillard is available for trade.
Yeah.
So that's it's hearsay at this point.
Dame in Chicago
with Zach LaVine and Vooch.
That shit would be crazy.
Happen. You can wear the same colors.
You can wear the same colors. People look dope in them black jerseys. I think I'd be all for that shit, man.
That'd be our big 3.
That sounds
Alex
spoke
KD and Kyrie into existence. I'm gonna say it here. Dame is coming to Chicago. I'm speaking it into existence.
Dame will be a Bull. And DeMar DeRozan will be a Laker. Come on, basketball guys.
Trade up into the first round just to trade that first round pick for Damian Lillard.
Yeah, for real. Just oh man, that's cool though. I hope we'll see what happens with that. That's a situation that's still evolving.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that's not gonna go anywhere at least until middle of the off season, right. Once the finals are passed and everything. But I don't really have too much for the Eagles either here. I know this sounds like a broken record. Zach Ertz news. Once again,
what you got on him?
This is coming from Dave Spadera, who works with the Eagles and does a lot of reporting for the Eagles. He's the field reporter, and then he writes articles. This is a direct quote from him. He said, "When players report to training camp on July 27th, my sense is Zach Ertz will be one of those players reporting. After that, we'll see how it plays out." That's all he said. Is that he sees Zach Ertz on the team when training camp comes.
He'll be there, but
it doesn't say how long or whatever.
Or how much he'll actually be there, is he going to be taking reps? Is he going to be kind of chilling? How they were holding players.
He'll be there, so he's not a holdout, but what's he going to do?
Right, exactly. Having some type of nagging injury, keeping him out of practice or something like that.
Can't play, coach.
Can't play, coach. Ankle hurt.
Like, I understand you won't fuck with Howie, man, but we got a good thing going. It would be better with 2 dope tight ends to stay for the year than you a free agent. Go wherever you want to go. Stay. Just come off for 1 more year. Stay. Like, I don't want to get rid of this Hurts jersey yet. I don't want to stop wearing this.
I ain't feeling it, boss.
But speaking of tight ends, on the opposite side, that's the other bit of news I have here. Eagles are working on assigning Dallas Goedert to a big money contract extension.
Okay.
Goddard has been top 2 in passer rating when targeted each of his first 3 seasons with the Eagles, and he led the team in 2020.
Okay. So he's definitely your most consistent basis there. Like, so it's like a Brett Selleck. Maybe you could get him and have him stick around for a while. You know?
Yeah, that's what I would hope. Young. But it seems like Zach Ertz, he's probably on his way out. I feel like he's at this point where he's like, screw Howie Roseman and this organization.
Dallas Goedert stole his job. He's out.
Yeah. It's if Zach Ertz stays, he's going to be playing second fiddle at this point.
Exactly. But blocking downs and shit.
But that's all the news that I have this week. I don't know if you got anything else, Vern.
Nope, that's pretty much all I had as well here. Didn't have too much. Right now, the Suns are up 96-85 on the Bucks with 8:41 left in the fourth. So they're up by 11. It's looking like the Suns can win
might
this.
Take Game 1 unless the Bucks really go at them.
We'll see. Chris Middleton's playing some nice basketball right now. He's got 25. Chris Paul's got 27. So I think Booker's got 22 at the moment. So we'll see what happens. But it's looking like a good. It's going to be a good series. But the Suns are taking this one at home.
Okay. So you know what that leaves us, Vern? It leaves us with the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast.
Ready.
I got a bunch of them, man. I had to re-up here. Only one city has won 3 major sports championships in the same year, and that is Detroit in 1935, when the Lions won the NFL title, Tigers won the World Series, and the Red Wings took the Stanley Cup.
Damn.
All in 1 year. That's the only time it ever happened. In 1935.
Party, that's the only time in history?
Yeah. That's the only time.
Never done that shit?
Says only one city. Well, in 1 year, in the same year, they won all the major teams have won a championship in 1 year.
Damn, I thought for sure that would have happened somewhere else by now.
I mean, that's the only article I saw that said that was the only team. Only one city has won all 3 major championships. But yeah, 1935, crazy. Man.
Damn, it's almost 100 years.
Yep. And it hasn't been done since. It's going to be even harder now, especially with the NFL, like, add more games and shit.
Everything's so competitive now, too. So, like, it's hard to get 2 teams to win, you know. We had the Dodgers and the Lakers last year.
Now Lakers aren't even in it this year. Like, who knows? Crazy stuff. Hey, last year was a weird year just in sports in general, though. That's a weird year. We don't want to talk about that year in sports.
But that's pretty much all I had here.
Yeah, that's it for the show for today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at SquadPod Sports. We are almost to 600 followers. Let's bump them up. Get them numbers up. And make sure to subscribe. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to go like and subscribe. Like all the other videos on the channel as well. And hopefully we get some more crazy news that are coming out here in the next week or so. And I don't know what game it'll be on by next week, but we'll talk about that too.
It'll be Game 3 Sunday, so Game 4 will probably be Tuesday next time we're recording. So we'll be pretty deep into the series next time here.
Okay, maybe if everything goes well, the Suns might close it out on that night. Who knows?
We'll see. I don't think it'll be Suns in 4. Maybe we'll make our predictions of the next time. Actually, we should have did that now. We did say the Suns, but we didn't really say like in what. I'm gonna say I know it's the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Suns in 7.
Suns in 7.
Mm-hmm.
I say Suns in 5.
Okay.
Suns
so there's our prediction. You gotta get to the whole way to the end of the video to get our prediction. So there you go.
All right, definitely make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody next week.
Peace out.
Peace.